Hi YouTube family, it's Stephanie back here just for another quick update. Excuse the very vibrant hair. Since I have not been feeling well, I decided to do something fun and just something to keep me happy even when I'm in a lot of pain. So I can just look at my hair and it's my favorite colors and it's happy. And the colors are Virgin Pink and Purple Rain by Arctic Fox hair color. Highly recommended. I've been using their hair colors for close to 6 months now, I guess. And I love it. They're very conditioning. They're very good, but that's not what this video is about. But highly recommended if you are looking to color your hair. Anyway, back to the actual point of this video. So, my channel, as you guys know, I don't edit, I don't do anything like that. What you see is what you get real life. And things have been really hard for me over the past few years dealing with the chronic pain from endometriosis, IBS, the fatigue that goes along with all of that, and then I also have PTSD, depression, and anxiety disorder. And I'm sorry if this is like a little shaky. I am filming on my phone because I don't want to get my computer out right now. But anyway, so I've been dealing with all of that for, I think it'll be 3 years this year. And it has been terrible. But I have just recently started to make some positive changes in my life. I am starting to go back to the gym. I have a personal trainer that I'm going to start seeing, and I just started a new kind of therapy a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. I'm doing prolonged exposure therapy for my PTSD, which is very difficult emotionally, but it's going to be super beneficial. So I feel like I would be stupid if I didn't give it a try. And I'm always very open about my struggles, especially with mental illness, because I think that it's a very important thing to talk about. And if more people talked about their struggles with mental illness, there wouldn't be such a taboo around it. So I am not ashamed by the fact that I am on antidepressants. I have been on antidepressants for 2 years. I think I had a 6-month gap where I stopped. And that was fine for a little bit, but then my depression and my PTSD got much, much worse. So I went back on antidepressants. And now I think I'm finally at a dosage where it's actually helping. And I'm starting to feel, I feel like I have hope again, which I haven't had hope for a very long time, because everything in my life has just seemed to be negative. So, the chronic pain started first. And that I got pain-related depression because of the pain, obviously, hence pain-related depression. And that was really hard to deal with. I went from being this super bubbly person who was able to go out all the time and just be a normal 20-something-year-old. So go out and drink, go out and have fun with my friends, run, exercise, go to the beach, do whatever I wanted to do, be normal, a normal 20-year-old. And then when my chronic pain started, my life just completely changed. I wasn't able to leave the house without making sure I had pain medicine or a heating pad or a portable heating pad, or I knew where the closest emergency room was. Leaving the house became a struggle and a fight. I would often have to cancel plans at last minute, and I would have to if I did go out, I would end up leaving early, way earlier than all my friends and way earlier than even I used to. So that was really hard. And then I was dealing with all of that, and I was sexually assaulted by my doctor several times. And I developed PTSD because of those traumatic experiences. And so taking the depression that I already had and adding this post-traumatic stress disorder on top of it was terrible. It was very, very hard for me to deal with. I felt like I couldn't trust the world around me. I couldn't trust friends. I couldn't trust family. I felt like I couldn't trust anyone. I couldn't even trust myself because in my mind, I had let this happen. If I had only done things a little differently, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Maybe I wouldn't have been sexually assaulted. I blamed myself. I blamed myself a lot for what happened. Even though I now know it was no fault of my own whatsoever. But I still go through days where I do blame myself. And it's a very, very real part of PTSD is negative self-talk and self-blame. And that's, I apologize for my dog, but that's one of the hardest things about PTSD for me. And so I was dealing with all of that, and then in 2015, so about a year and a half, 2 years after the first trauma incident, whatever you want to call it, that's Bear, by the way, I was sexually assaulted again by someone I had considered a close friend. The circumstances around the second sexual assault were very, very different from the first. The first one was by my doctor. It was, in the doctor's office during an exam. And the second incident was after a night out with somebody I had considered a very close friend. And this friend, I even, he knew about my PTSD due to what happened with my doctor. And he had even been to the emergency room with me before because of my chronic pain, because I had nobody else to take me. So he knew everything. And I really did consider him a close friend. And I never went out. I never did anything. No. And the one night I did go out, and I did choose to try to be normal, this terrible thing happened to me. And I'm sorry if you guys can hear the sniffing. This is my dog Bear. Buddy. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep talking even though he wants attention. And so he knew everything. It was a very personal trauma, and that one left me. Can you get up? Thank you. Okay. And that one left me feeling much more vulnerable and much more, I don't want to say damaged. Damaged isn't the right word, is it? No, it's not. And I'm sorry. And, it made my PTSD much worse. And this is my 135-pound lap dog. Anytime he can tell I'm upset or feeling emotional or anxious, this is what he does. He grounds me. But anyway, that made my PTSD much, much worse. It got to the point where I couldn't trust any men. I couldn't be in crowds. I couldn't go out at night. I couldn't leave my house by myself. It was terrible. And it's something that I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy. And again, I blamed myself for that situation. If I would have, not gone out that night, if I would have not drank, if I would have, insisted that I get a taxi home, or, I feel like there's so many things I could have done that may have changed the outcome of that night. But I didn't do any of those things. What happened. And it was terrible, and it was a very, very terrifying experience. That I still struggle with flashbacks. I still struggle with not being able to sleep, not being able to sleep in the dark by myself. And it was terrible. And so I'm still dealing with the PTSD and the anxiety, the insomnia, everything like that. And I am still dealing with chronic pain. And they feed off of each other. They really do. It's very difficult. When I have a flare of one, the other will flare. And it's terrible, and unless you or somebody who's been through it, it's very hard for me to explain what it's like. But I have days, 3-4 days in a row, where I'm just in my pajamas and I'm wearing the same pajamas. And it's because it's a mix of pain and the depression. And like today, for example, I am still in my pajamas. I'm not ashamed about that. And I don't even know what time it is. It's like maybe 10, something like that. And I am just in a lot of pain today. I have already taken my pain medicine. I am on Percocet. And I still just want to crawl up into a ball and cry. And when my pain gets like that, it usually makes my depression get worse. So then I have the physical side of not feeling able to get dressed or really do anything. And then I have the emotional side of it of I just don't want to. What's the point? So it's very difficult, but such is life, I guess. I don't really know. Really the point of this video is to just kind of explain things a little bit more. I mean, I know not a lot of people watch my videos, but for me, this is a very healing process, just talking about everything. And even if I can help one person, either with endometriosis, PTSD, anxiety, depression, just one person, that's all I need to make this all worthwhile. And that person could even be myself. So I'm going to continue to make these videos. Even if it's just for my own healing. But if you guys have any questions about anything that I've talked about, the PTSD, depression, anxiety, endometriosis, IBS, migraines, anything, I will be more than happy to make a video explaining more. Like I said, I'm not scared to talk openly about my mental illnesses. I find it very beneficial for myself, and I'm sure somebody else can find benefit from it too. So if you want to know more about anything, just let me know. Leave me a comment down below and tell me what you want to hear, what you want me to talk about. And I hope everybody has a pain-free weekend. And until next time, guys, bye.